wow, this person is really, really not here. Why would God take this person away? Why now? Why this? And they are just very, very angry. Well, I've learned to just accept whatever happens as God's will. Sometimes his will is hard to accept. Sometimes his will is easy to accept. Sometimes his will comes to pass and we are happy and we are pleased. Sometimes we are not happy and we are not pleased. And this is one of those situations where we are not happy and we are not pleased. But regardless, it is his will. Cry when you feel like crying. It's necessary. I know that it is very, very hard to lose a loved one. And I know that it is worse to lose a loved one and to feel like that is the end and you never see them again or you never meet them again. But I would just say that you will actually. Welcome to my channel again. Welcome to another video. My name is Chide, and in today's video, we'll be talking about a topic that is somehow sad, but is our reality sometimes, is part of the things that we experience as humans in life. And by now, you already know from the title of this video, we'll be talking about handling grief. Um, I chose to talk about this topic now because I know quite a number of people that have experienced the loss of a loved one in recent times. Like in the past few months, I know about 4 people that have lost a loved one. And just last month, it was 4 years after I lost my dad. So, although right now I don't feel as much, pain and grief as I felt when I just lost him. But sometimes the feeling of grief still lingers or sadness still lingers. So that's basically why I chose to talk about this topic. My heart goes out to everyone that has lost a loved one, a parent, a sibling, a spouse, a co-worker, a very close friend, anyone that is dear to you and you have lost them in recent times. I'm really sorry, and I hope and pray that you find solace and you find comfort and you find strength to heal from your loss and to find ways to remember this person with maybe not a feeling of sadness, but a feeling of gratitude and joy to have shared the beautiful memories that you have of this person. Having said this, I'll start by sharing the story of my own loss. And then after that, I would share a few things that worked for me that I know that can help you go through this phase of grief. Because the point of this video is to help anyone who is going through that phase, the phase of grief, go through that phase easier and better. So I lost my dad, like I said, 4 years ago. And at the time I lost him, the very day that he passed, I was sad. I cried as anybody would. But the truth is, the realization of losing him didn't set in immediately. At the time, all I felt was okay, so I wouldn't see my dad again. So, like, this is really the end. And that hurt very much. But the realization of losing him definitely didn't totally set in. But years have passed, and in the course of those years, I feel like I've felt his loss more. That's because certain events have happened that I miss his presence. I've gone through certain things in life that if he was there, maybe my experience would have been different, or I would have felt his presence or felt his impact. And then in those moments, I even miss him more. Those moments, I realize more that, wow, this person is really, really not here. But then there are certain things that comfort me. One thing that helped me the very day he passed was while I cried, while I felt very sad, just to regulate myself and not like get lost in my pain. I would try to calm myself down and I'll tell myself it's okay. Like I'm literally crying and I'm saying it's okay. And I'm rubbing my laps, I'm rubbing my palms, and I'm breathing down. And I feel like that really helped me ease my emotions. Like it helped me let out like tension and pain. And would I say pressure? It just made me calmer. Although I still felt some pain, but it was like I was regulating my pain. So while you feel hot and very heartbroken and you're crying and everything, you can always do that. Just while you cry, and it would help you regulate your pain and your sadness and your pressure, the pressure that you feel and the hurt that you feel better. Also, my faith has helped me a lot. So I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I know that a lot of people are not members of that church. A lot of people that will see this video are not members of the church that I attend. But I know that regardless of the church that you attend, as Christians, we all believe in God, and we all believe, well, we most of us, or would I say some of us, believe in resurrection and that we'll see our loved ones again. Well, for me, it's a bit different, because for me, more than believing that I would see my loved one again, I believe that I would see them again and I would have the same relationship that I had with them while they were on it. Like when I die and I meet them and life is over, the same way my dad was my dad when he was on earth, he would still be my dad when I see him again. And I would love him and he would love me, and we would bond and would have that relationship and that friendship that we had. And that just really comforts me. It makes me feel like maybe I'm just on a break. Maybe this is just a break. And then after this break is over, regardless of how long it is, I'll see him again and I'll be happy. So I'll just be patient while we are on this break where we can't really see each other. So that's another thing that comforted me. Well, that's another thing that helps me go through that phase easier. Would I say that phase? I'm still in the phase, because sometimes I still feel sad, sometimes I still miss him, but just remembering that or reminding myself of that helps me handle it better. So I don't know what you believe in. I don't know what your faith is as regards losing a loved one, but that is what mine is, and it really really helps me, or it really helps me go through that phase. Also, sometimes when we experience grief, some of us have regrets, some of us are angry, and I had my share of that. There were certain things that I wish that I did while my dad was, around. But, feeling like that won't really help you. It will only make you feel worse, but it doesn't mean that those feelings don't come. My own experience of that was while he was sick, he was around. He stayed with us. I'm currently in Lagos, so he stayed with us in Lagos before he actually passed in Lagos. And then there was this day I made Indomie, and at the time my daddy wasn't supposed to eat certain things, and Indomie was one of them. So I made Indomie, and I made this very small, the smallest size of Indomie. That was what I made, because that's as much as I can eat. So I made it, and then he loves food. My daddy loves food. So he was pacing around the kitchen waiting for my Indomie to be ready. And then I actually didn't realize that that's what he was waiting for, because I know that he's not supposed to eat Indomie. He knows he's not supposed to eat Indomie. So it just didn't cross my mind that he wanted some. So he went into the room shortly, And by the time he came back, my Indomie was ready and I had finished it. And then he came and said, what of the Indomie now? I said, Dad, I've, I've eaten it. Did you want? He said, oh, no problem. Don't worry. I didn't want. But I knew that, he wanted some. Also, while he was around, like while he was sick and still alive, he liked corn a lot. And every time they'll ask me, go and buy corn for daddy, go and buy corn for daddy. And I hate going on errands. So sometimes I'll complain, I'll grumble, and then they'll just say, okay, now don't worry. They'll send someone else in the house. But then when he passed, I remembered all of this. So I remember it sometimes. And sometimes I feel like I wish I just shared my Indomie with him. I wish I just bought him the corn that he wants because he still died anyways. So he could have just, I could have just shared with him. He could have just enjoyed himself because whether he ate it, whether he didn't eat it, he would have still gone. So I wish I did those things differently. But the truth is I can't go back in time and do those things. And at the time that I did them, I didn't do it with bad intentions. Maybe not even maybe, not wanting to, go on an errand to get corn for him was bad. It was wrong. But then I'm still human. I wouldn't be excited to go on errands every time. So yeah, I've learned to forgive myself of that and even any other thing that maybe crosses my mind sometimes and I feel like I wish I did this differently. I wish I spent more time with my dad. I wish I did that. And this feeling is relative. You can feel like that too. A lot of other people can feel like that too. You could wish did things differently when that loved one that you have lost and you miss now was around. But please know that you didn't intend for them to pass. You didn't even know that they were going to, pass. So you were basically just acting like a normal human being will act, a person that is not expecting to lose someone will act. So don't beat yourself too much. Don't beat yourself up too much about it. Just learn to forgive yourself and know that these people actually really love you and they are not offended that you were not able to do those things. They are not offended at all. So just take comfort and solace in that and forgive yourself for that. Okay, so some other people are angry about the loss of a loved one. They feel like, well, would I say some Christians, would I say, are angry about the loss of a loved one. They're like, why would God take this person away? Why now? Why this? And they are just very, very angry. Well, I cannot totally give an answer to resolve that feeling of anger. But I would just say that I've learned to just accept whatever happens as God's will. Sometimes his will is hard to accept. Sometimes his will is easy to accept. Sometimes his will comes to pass and we are happy and we are pleased. Sometimes we are not happy and we are not pleased. And this is one of those situations where we are not happy and we are not pleased. But regardless, it is his will. And I have chosen to trust him and trust his will. In good times, in bad times, through thick and thin. So I just tell myself that God knows best, is his will. Whatever he's doing is what's best for me and what's best for my loved one that has passed. So I just choose to let it go, to just hand it over to him and just leave it at that. And it helps me and I know that it can help you to um fade out that feeling of anger and just leave it in God's hand. But again, this is subject to your faith. For other faiths or religion, I don't know your belief, but for me, yeah, that's what works. So this point is something that I told my mom that really helped her go through her own phase of grief or is helping her go through her phase of grief for the loss of my dad and helps me too. So I told her that every time that she thinks of my dad and like she feels hurt for losing him or she feels hurt about losing him like she would normally. She should remember the happy moments that they have, the fun memories that they have. My mom and my dad had a very good relationship. They had a beautiful marriage. So she has a lot of beautiful memories of the both of them. So I told her that every time that she feels sad and she wants to cry and she misses him so much and she feels pain and hurt, she should remember those memories that they would play, they would laugh, they work together, eat together, together, do things that made both of them happy. And those memories, the remembrance of those memories would make her happy or would ease her pain in that moment because it works for me too. Sometimes I sit and I just try to remember. I just think of my daddy liked dancing, so I think of how he used to dance. And sometimes I'll even stand up and start doing those dance steps and those dance moves, and I would laugh while doing them. In those moments, I'm choosing to remember him from a happy place and not from a place of pain and sadness. I really hope that my experience that I've shared helps you go through this phase of grief easier. I know that losing a loved one can be very hard, can be very painful. It is worse to lose a loved one and to feel like that is the end and you never see them again or you never meet them again. But I would just say that you will actually, you will meet them again. You can take comfort and solace in that you will meet them again, you see them again, and they'll be happy to see you. We are just on a break. They are somewhere and we are here. Cry when you feel like crying. It's necessary. But just try to regulate your the expression of your grief so that you don't hurt yourself in the end. Please take care of yourself. I love you. Mwah. Bye. Sorry. Please subscribe. I like these videos. When you like a video, it makes more people see it. So if you would want more people to see this video, and have knowledge of the things that I've shared to help them go through this phase too easier, then like this video and subscribe to my channel to support me and help me grow. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Until my next video.